it is back to the drawing board for the Philadelphia Eagles after their 31-15 loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the wild card round of the playoffs. There's a mixed bag, honestly, to really think about with the Philadelphia Eagles this year. Yes, they made the playoffs. Yes, they did a lot better than a lot of people expected them to do. You could say that the defense especially outplayed expectations. You could say that Jalen Hurts obviously did as well as anyone could probably do in that situation. And the running backs were probably the running game in general for the Philadelphia Eagles is probably the biggest thing you could hang your hat on for the 2021 season. But in conclusion, we saw in this game kind of why the Eagles are relegated to the afterthought that they are in the NFL because they can't pass the ball. And honestly, it's less to do with Jalen Hurts and than it is to do with, I think, scheming and just talent around him. But they can't pass the ball. They cannot get a stop when they need it. And I think that a lot of it ends up coming down to coaching. So let's just really get into what the Eagles need to look out for next and what might be next for them. And I know a lot of Eagles fans do not want to hear this, but especially coming off the playoffs, but I think it's time for the Eagles to do a hard rebuild. And I'm not talking about, moving some pieces here and there. I do not think the Eagles have the pieces to compete for a title. And if you can't say that, I don't think they have the pieces as far as on defense. I don't think they have the pieces in coaching in place to be able to scheme enough to compete for a title. I just don't think it's there. And it would be different if the quarterback was a guy who could overcome these things. And this is, a lot of people are going to look at this as a slight against Jalen Hurts. It is not. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. Let me be very clear. He is a good, sometimes really good quarterback. But I do not think that he is a type of guy who is a franchise-changing guy a la Lamar Jackson. I don't think he's a franchise-changing guy a la Andrew Luck was a few years ago. I think Jalen Hurts is a guy who can do very, very well with whatever you do around him, and I think there's a ceiling to him as far as how much he can uplift your team. He's never going to be able to uplift this team to a Super Bowl. There are some quarterbacks who you could really say that about. I do not think that he is in that category. And it's for that reason I don't think that the Eagles should keep him around because it's not benefiting the Eagles because what are you going to have? A few playoff runs where you make the playoffs. Yay, we made the playoffs at 8-7-1 or whatever. And now what? We're one and done every year. The coaching, obviously, I think the coaching in the playoffs was the biggest noticeable, impactful thing for me because how does it take you 3 quarters? How does it take you 3 quarters to figure out that throwing the ball to Devontae Smith is a good idea? I know Nick Sirianni's down there, growing the roots and everything, but 3 quarters to figure out that your most talented player on your team might be someone you might want to involve in the game plan. And also, the second they started doing that, what happened? They started scoring points. And they started making plays. And I know the Bucs were in prevent or whatever, but still, they were making plays with Devontae Smith. Weren't doing it before. I don't think this team has the core to... Outside of Devontae Smith, I don't think they have the core to compete for a title. That is the brutal, honest truth. And they need to make some big-time moves. Could they make some huge moves in the offseason to get some big guys? Yes. Who's going to want to go play for Nick Sirianni over other coaches? You're telling me there's going to be people who want to go play for the Eagles over the Lions with DC and what he's building up there? You're telling me there's going to be people who want to go to the Eagles, to wherever Brian Flores might go, a guy who's proven that he can win the NFL? There's a lot of good teams out there, and there's a lot of good coaches out there. I don't know if the free agents are going to really flock to Philadelphia. So that's why I think they're going to end up having to build something on their own. And it's better if you do. It's better if you know sooner rather than later that you're going to do that. So just my take. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.